with Craft Me a Card, and I am crafting for the crafter, and that is you. Today I will be sharing with you guys how I made these cards look 3D just by using an image. Now please keep in mind that this technique can be done with any image you might have, whether it be a flower, a basket, an animal, anything that you want. And I decided to hand deliver these cards to two houses whom I don't know who lives there, but I was quite impressed in admiring their lawn and their Halloween decoration. I know firsthand how much time, how expensive it is to decorate your house for Halloween or any season, actually. But these people did a really great job in decorating their houses. So I just want to recognize them and hand them one of my handmade cards. And yes, I plan to do the same thing for Christmas and whenever I see a house that really goes out of their way to delight our eyes with great decorations for any holiday. Okay, the first thing y'all want to do is pick an image and print it out twice. Now, this could also be a pattern paper that you might have in a paper pad. These were taken off the internet. So if you do this, you have to be very careful and make sure that it is not copywritten if you are going to sell it. Since I'm not selling these cards, I'm not worried about that. And there are many images in the internet that are accessible. Okay, so I bring in my card base and I always put in the back, especially crafted for you by Anna at Craft Me a Card. And mention that I am on YouTube in case they're curious and would like to watch. Okay, so the first layer I am going to bring in is this black one, and I love this one because it has texture to it. It's by coordinations, and it has an inner white core, which means that if we sand it, we tear it, that white core will come to the surface, which makes it really cool. And surprise, surprise, this is by Holtz and Ranger. It's the Distress Collection. No wonder it's so awesome. All right, so then I just place my card right on it and I bring in my X-Acto knife. This is by X-Acto. Now you could use any crafter's knife you might have. And using the crafter's knife is like everything in life. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. So you might destroy one here and there, but in the end, it is totally worth it. Okay, so now I bring in my second layer, which is also by coordinations, and it also has the same distressed look, and it's this red. Okay, but first we're going to work on the black layer. And I go ahead and using some liquid glue, I go ahead and I stick it on the card base, making sure that all the ends meet perfectly. So to truly take advantage of the feature that this cardstock offers, I go ahead and I bring in a file, and I bought this at a hardware store. Just make sure that it's fine. I sometimes also use a nail file for this. So just go around the edges, just distressing them and giving them that grungy look. Okay, let's focus now on the second layer, which is the red one. And I want a little black border, so that means that I want this red on the inside of the card. And to create this border, well, actually, it's like a little frame. I don't measure it. I'm more of an eyeballer. Yes, I like to eyeball things. It just makes my life a little easier. What I do instead is I put the layer that is going to be on top of the layer that is going to be underneath it. And depending on the width of the frame I want, that is the size of the edge I leave on two sides of the card. Then with my pencil, I come in and I mark that same width on the two opposite sides. Then with my cutter, I go ahead and I cut where these two markings are. And this creates a nice border around my card. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did for the black layer. I'm going to do with the red one because this also has a solid core. So I just go ahead and distress it all around by scraping it. I decide to distress it in a different way in addition to the filing. And that is by bringing in this tool. It's by Holtz, and also Tonic also has one. And I'm sure other companies also carry them, but these are the ones that I'm familiar with. And I just want to make it clear that everything that I am showing you and giving my opinion on are things that I have bought out of my own pocket. Nobody has sent them to me for review, or no one has sent them to me with the intention of me advertising. It's just my sincere opinion. Okay, so going back to this tool, I actually really like it, but there are other ways you can achieve this look, and that's by using scissors or a crafter's knife. You'll see me using a crafter's knife a little later, and the result is the same. You can also use your nail, but I believe that using some type of blade is a lot faster. Alright, now it's time to work on the image, and I go ahead and I distress this one as well. Everything has to matchy-match. Yes, it's just a way to make everything uniform, make it all grungy. Okay, once this piece is distressed enough, it is time to bring in the 3D element. And the way we are going to do this is by using a crafter's knife. Okay, so here you have to decide what part of it do you want 3D. Do you want to just make the face 3D or the whole body? So in this case, I want to do the whole body. So I go in with the X-Acto knife and just trace all around the image. Once you get the hang of using the crafter's knife, it becomes a very handy tool. Okay, continuing on with the idea of distressing this card as much as possible, I go ahead and with the same tool, I go around the edges of the image that I just cut out. And for those hard to reach spots, I go in with the crafter's knife and do the distressing with this blade. In reality, that is what this tool is. It's a bunch of little blades encrusted inside this little tool. I guess it's just a way to make it a little safer. Okay, now to really make this card 3D, I bring in some foam adhesive, flip my little image over, and I add a little bit of adhesive, and then I place the foam squares on top of this glue. And this is just a way to make this a little more sturdy or give it a longer life, because I feel that dry adhesive dries up even more with time and then it just falls off. But I have found that liquid glue tends to have a longer life adhering things together. I go ahead and peel off the backing that sometimes could be oh so tedious. I add some more liquid glue to these and then I stick it right on top of where my other image is. Ooh, he's so spooky. Okay, now for my sentiment, I just want to put Happy Halloween, but I feel that it has to be something that pops and it has to be something a little happier, so I decided to bring in some red foil cardstock. I choose 2 different types of fonts just to make the card a little funner. Placing the metal die face down on my red foil cardstock, I go ahead and I run it through my die cutting machine. Okay, let's go ahead and put this card together. I go ahead and I grab my red layer and I add some liquid adhesive to the back of it and I place it right in the middle of my card base. Go ahead and I grab my Pennywise. Same process, add glue to the back of it and stick it right in the middle of the red layer. And voila, there it is. I grab the word Halloween, I put it on some tweezers and just add some liquid glue to the back of it and I glue it on the edge of the floating image, the one that we cut. This way the Halloween is like hanging over, it's like floating. I do the same with the word happy. First I start with the H and I place it halfway on the image and halfway off the image, kind of like hanging off the edge there. I do the same with all the other letters, and a great help were these tweezers because these letters were so thin and tiny and delicate that these tweezers really made my life easier. The tweezers are another tool that are, great to have. There is a trick to using tweezers. You need to pick up the item or the piece that you're going to be sticking down in the same position that you're going to be gluing it on your project. Because if you grab the piece with the tweezers at a different angle, it just makes your hands get all twisted and it just is not fun at all. So a trick to using tweezers, pick up the piece you are going to be gluing on your project in the same angle that you're going to be gluing it. And of course, to finish my card off, I need some corners. So I decided to cut out this shiny black cardstock and place the corners on my card. A 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. And since there was much distressing done in this card, I went ahead and I grabbed my little brush and I went over the whole card, just kind of brushing it off and cleaning it. So I do want to share with you guys the second card that I made, and the only thing I want to share that is different, aside of course from the image, is that I added 2 foam adhesives to the back of it. That means that the dimension is a little deeper, but I just wanted to share that you don't really need to add the 2 foam adhesives. Just with 1 layer of foam adhesive already gives it that look that you're looking for of 3D. Both these cards were so much fun to work on, and they were perfect for Halloween and to give to someone that's a fan of Pennywise. And it's definitely a good Halloween movie. Definitely not for kids. I know that my children would have had nightmares if they would have seen it. And they are 16 and 13. I know. Am I protective? Anyways, here are the 2 cards side by side. I hope that you get inspired. I hope you create and be happy. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification bell and give me a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, hit the thumbs down twice. Thank you so much. You guys have a happy and safe Halloween, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I like to bring in the cardstock. And Pennywise, move over. Oh my gosh, taking these little pieces off takes longer than making the card sometimes. Oh dear, you're cutting into my brain. Oh, crud. It should have been landscape. I did this vertical. Oh no, the YouTube is off. It's above. He's so spooky. I need a pee-pee. I need a pee-pee. I need a pee and another pee.